Hello and welcome to a new charter that we have in Azure Support Academy. In this new charter, we are going to talk about two new options that we have with the portal, the new firewall interface and PrivateLink. My name is José Manuel Jurado. I am a escalation engineer working in Microsoft for Azure SQL Database, site the master representing this technology and speaker in different events. Okay, let's get started with my lesson learned working with the new firewall interface. Okay, this is the new interface. That we have for SQL Azure. We have two new options right now. We have denied public network access, and another one is the connection policy. You know that the connection policy is the different policy that we could use in order to connect using proxy. The connection is going through the proxy, or try to connect directly to the SQL server that is running your database. But I would like to share with you my lesson learned that I got using the combination of the different values that we have, as you can see, yes or no for denied public network access and allow Azure services and resources to access to this server. So in this test, I'm going to use two machines. First, I'm going to use my local machine that is running outside Azure, and I'm going to use another machine that I have in Azure running the same region that my server is. So I'm going to start trying to use my PC that is running outside Azure. You could see that I'm going to click connect, and I got an error right now that SQL Management Studio requests to add this IP. This is my local IP that I have that I need to add in this file. So the combination that we have, that to me that is clear. Okay, that's clear that okay, it's denied the public access is no, but as you could see, this IP is not in the whitelist. So I'm going to add this IP. I'm going to click save, and most probably in a couple of seconds, I'm going to try again to connect, and I will be able to connect without any issues. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect, and I'm going to test the same using my virtual machine that I have in Azure. I'm going to, this is the same server, I'm going to click connect. As you could see, you have the same issue, okay? But in this case, SQL Management Studio is requesting to add this IP. Okay, this is the IP that we have in my virtual machine in Azure, the public IP that we have in Azure. So in this case, it's clear that let's try to change one thing. I'm going to maintain the denied public network access no, and I'm going to click yes in this allowing the Azure services in order to connect. Okay, I have changed. I'm going to click OK, and I'm able to connect without any issues. You can see I'm able to connect. Why? The reason is because I add in this allow Azure services and resources. But what happened if I click yes here? Okay, so that means I expect that if I deny the public access network access, I expect that no one outside Azure will be able to connect, but all any service that is running the same region in Azure will be able to connect. Let's try to see what happened. The first test that I'm going to do is using my PC that is running outside Azure. I expect that I'm not going to be able to connect. Yes, it's clear. So I'm not able to connect because I have this error message. What is the reason? The reason is even when I got the IP, let me refresh a second. Even when I have add my IP here, I'm preventing the access because I have this option enabled here. But what happened in my virtual machine? I'm going to test right now my virtual machine. Sorry, I'm going to disconnect and I'm going to connect again. Okay, it's the same error. So I'm going to the portal and try to understand what is the issue. The issue is that when you enable yes here, this apply for when we mention the word public means that will be applied these restrictions not just only for the IPs that is running outside Azure. It's all, even using the machine that is running in the same Azure region. So let me to do another test because I'm going to add the IP of this machine. Let me take the IP. 1 second. This is the IP. And I'm going to add this IP in the firewall. And see what happened. I click save. It has been verified correctly. And I'm going to try again. Okay, I have the same problem. So what is my lesson learned here? My lesson learned here is that every time that you have yes, these restrictions will apply for outside and inside. Okay, it's very important. So that's it. That was my lesson learned, and we are going to talk about the PrivateLink in order to connect using the private network access. It was very cool to learn a lot of things about how to use the different combination of the different parameters that we have or the different options that we have in the firewall in the portal. But right now we are going to put focus about how to create a private link and how to use this option. Oh, what's great that the lesson learned that we have learned in this situation. So right now we know what is the different behaviors using the different combination using the firewall options that we have with denied and also services. Right now we have yes to deny the public access. Right now we know that it's in this option there is not possible to connect there is not possible to connect from the Azure services. So right now the only option that we have is to use the private link. So let's try to create the private link. So the first point is go to the private link. I'm going to click here, private endpoints, and I'm going to click add. I'm going to choose my subscription, the resource group that I have. I'm going to type a name, for example, my private link. I'm going to choose the North Europe because it's not where my virtual machine is running in Azure. I'm going to choose my server. The server is this. The most important thing that we have right now is to choose the virtual network and subnet where is running your machine. So I'm going to choose this one. I choose my virtual network, my subnet, that is this machine is running. As you can see, we have a new option here, is the DNS integration. So that means that we are going to have a new FQDN that we try to connect to the SQL server. I'm going to show you in the next slides, in next part of this video about this what that's mean the FQDN. Right now, we are going to leave as it. Clicking yes in the integrate with private DNS zone and using this print zone. So I'm going to click tags and I'm going to create right now the server, the private link, sorry. Okay, we have created right now our private link. I'm going to I'm going to connect from my virtual machine that I have in Azure. So right now, the most important thing is try to run. I would like to explain first. It's about the direction that we have. As you can see, I'm going to run the ping command. As you can see right now, the IP address of my the resolution of this server is the public endpoint. So in this case, I'm going to do, I need to refresh the DNS because when you create a PrivateLink, you are going to have two new entries that will point to the real IP that we have in this private network. So let's try to first, I'm going to refresh the DNS. Yes. And I'm going to run again the ping command. Right now, as you could see, we have a new IP. It's not the public one. It's the private IP. So that means that this IP is the internal IP of my virtual network and subnet. Okay. So as we mentioned previously, also you are going to have a new FQDN that is called PrivateLink, that you have the same IP. Okay. So let's try to connect right now to from this Azure machine to our server right now. I'm going to connect this one. Okay, we are able to connect to the PrivateLink without issues. And the most important thing, let's try to run. Just only I would like to share with you what is the IP address that we are using right now in Azure in this machine. So when I run this command, as you could see here, the IP address is this. This is the local IP of this virtual machine that I have in this virtual LAN subnet. Okay, let's try to recap what is the different option, the different behaviors that we have using these two parameters, deny and allow Azure services. When we have yes in the deny public network access and we have yes in allow Azure services, all the connections that we have inside or outside Azure will not be possible. We need to use the PrivateLink. When we have yes in the deny public network access and we have no in the allow Azure services, we have the same situation because deny public network access will prevent the access from public and also from Azure services that is not running in the same VNet and subnet. So in this case, the best option is to use PrivateLink. What happens when we have the deny public network access no, and we have yes in the allow Azure services? All the machines that we have running in the same Azure region will be able to connect to my server. If we have no and no in these both parameters, you need to specify the client and public IP of your machines. Oh, was very cool to learn a lot of things about the new options that we have in our from the portal, the firewall option that we have in the portal. So again, but if you need or you have any other questions, please send me an email. I will try to reply or to answer all the questions that you have about this new option. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and see you in the next chapter.